the second topic was around the whole idea about how you respond. We covered that a little bit, Tony, and just thinking about, how quickly are we responding? I guess, some people initially will dwell on things for a week or 2 weeks, 5 weeks, whatever it might be.
Yep.
Do you even think about the point of death of someone that's close to you? Do you think about, I know Gary Vee talks about it a lot. He doesn't know how he's going to react. He might even shut down everything if it's a case that one of his loved ones actually passes away. What is that? That's a big situation to deal with. Are we looking to respond in a fairly quick amount of time? Do we need to go through this whole situation of dwelling, of closure, of what should I call it? Just really dealing with the situation.
Well, let me say. So, firstly, Gary Vee is a unique individual, right? So, I don't think like that. I do like a lot of his stuff, as you know, and I was wearing his shoes around yesterday, but I don't think like that sort of stuff there. What I do is I look to firstly try and solve whatever's happened. Can I solve whatever's happened? That's my mind goes straight to, can I solve it? I'll deal with what's happened later, but can I solve that thing that's happened? Now, in the instance of death, well, that's one of the most extreme examples, right? But if we just took our focus back to other things that happen in our life, can I solve this? If I can, great. If I can control it, great. If I can't, well, I can't, and I rationalize it. Now, how do we get better at it? It's called practice, and I talk about this every single week. Reflect, 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 reflect. That doesn't mean sit and dwell. It means focus on how did I act, how did I react, did I respond at all? And the more that you become conscious of these things, the more that you start to give yourself the chance to change the way you deal with things. But that's why I talk about reflecting. It's not dwelling on the negative, and it's going, well, what can I learn from that particular event that's just happened, and how can I set myself up so that in future I'm going to respond to it differently as opposed to reacting. And it just doesn't happen overnight, right? It's not Tony said to start to reflect and tomorrow I'm very different. No, it's not. That's not how it works. It means every day reflect on how you've gone. Could I have done something different, better, improved, etc. in that situation, so in future I become better for it? Seek feedback. Always seek feedback. If someone's around you, it's like, well, how can I improve? It's this whole constant growth mindset of going, well, what can I do better in future? But my first thing is, can I solve this thing that's going on? Because you don't want this problem to keep going if you can stop it, right? And then it's about, once you've solved it, then it's about, right, now let's have a little look back. Great, what lesson can I take? Now, park it, it's done, can't change it.
I believe it's about maybe shortening down that dwelling time, and like what you said, about, how you're not going to fix it straight away. You fix that over time by creating some of these thoughts, working on some of these thoughts, working on some of the feelings that are going on inside you, and then just responding to them each day in a better way. I like that. Responding to them each day in a better way. I love it.
I love it. That's a great tagline, mate. You should take that. And so it's like you said, it's all around elevating your consciousness of what you're doing. See, we operate on our subconscious, and we spend 90%, 9/10 of our day operating on autopilot, right? Because it's our subconscious, because it's been ingrained in us ever since we were little kids. The opportunity is the more that we can reflect and elevate and start to go, that's what I did. Now, you mightn't do it instantaneously. It might take a day or two or a week to look back and go, you know what? I wasn't proud of the way that I acted in that situation. I acted with fear in that situation. I wish I had have done something different in that situation. So you start to elevate it. So then when that situation comes up again, it's like, in future, here's how I'm going to do things differently.
Tony, you talk about solving problems and fixing problems and things like that. And typically it's a guy thing really to do, to think about these things, about fixing, solving. And I guess it's in relation to sometimes where you see someone who is struggling, going through, who just wants to be heard and listened to, and not solved and fixed. What would you say around that? Is it about looking at it yourself internally, or when you're actually responding to other people and maybe looking to assist other people?
Well, I always get in trouble, particularly from my wife, from trying to solve things, right? So let me talk about that situation.
How long do we got?
I am guilty of that. Yeah, I know. So this will take us another week, right? So, but I do, and so you're right, and so you work for Lifeline, and quite often it could be around just listening. But when I talk about solving, I'm talking about for me. I'm talking about what can I do for my situation. I wasn't referring to other people.
But what about
for us?
But what about for those people,
yourself,
Tony? Like, is it a situation where you're not a kind of fix-it person or a solver person, that you actually then, I guess, reflect and you're kind of dwelling and whatever? Do those type of people need to be more of a, like, head towards a personality maybe they're not, or head towards thinking about a fixing, a solving?
Of course they do. Because here's the thing. When you focus on the problem, what happens to the problem? Well, you focus on it and it starts this big, and it becomes this big, and it becomes this big, and you turn a little molehill into this huge big mountain. And so where your focus goes, your energy flows. And so if you're constantly focusing on the problem, it's going to become huge. But here's the thing. If you focus on the solution, that's going to become big. Right, and so that's how you get your way out of it. But what a lot of people do is they focus on the problem, and it's a bit like being caught in quicksand. And the more that you struggle, the deeper and deeper you get into the quicksand. Whereas if you flip your thinking and say, well, I'm going to focus on the solution, I want to put all my effort and energy to getting me out of this quicksand. And that I want to focus in a forward direction, as opposed to I'm focusing back, this bad thing's happened, I can't believe it, I'm so angry, I'm so upset, I'm so frustrated. Well, then that's
so
what
we
you
need
bring
more
into your
fixers.
life.
Is that what you're saying?
And
we need more problem solvers.
What I'm saying is we need to have a solution-oriented
mindset.
Because
I like it.
Yeah, because you want to look in a forward
You probably used
direction.
it before. Have you?
Absolutely, but I will. Thank you, mate. Appreciate it. Yeah.
No, you came up with it. I'm telling you to use it. That's all.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, there you go. Okay? Yep. So, but yes, I have used it. But I mean, that's what it's about. It's about always look in a forward direction. There's only two reasons that you want to look backwards. One is to see how far you've come, and two is to take the lesson.
Yeah, absolutely.
Take the lesson. Now, and probably the third is to revel in the happy memories too. That's probably the other one. But sadly, what we tend to do when we look back is we don't revel in the happy memories. We revel in the missed opportunities. We revel in the hurt, the upset, the depression, the sadness, and all the things that should have, could have, would have, that didn't.
When we talk about fixing, Tony, the third topic was around fix with empathy. What would you say around this for yourself and maybe for others?
Yeah, well, I mean, empathy is such a powerful skill that is underutilized. You need to have empathy for the person that you're talking to, because everyone has a different story. Everyone has their own baggage that they've brought with them to this very point. And what may be a solution for you may not be a solution for the next person, may not be a solution for the person after that. So that's where empathy is understanding the situation that person is in. We all have very, very different stories that have got us to this point today.
Absolutely.